this is one of the epic meeting, right? First time we have come out of the club. No matter what happens, even if it is a Good Friday, we say show must go on, right? With that, we come to a special place. We are in Kaban Park. This is like 300 acres of lush green around you. This is the first project, mind you, in India that was arboricultured. That means every plant, that every tree here was purposefully sown. We have around 6,000 different plants and trees here, and you are breathing oxygen from all those. You don't get a chance like this, right? I can see that energy, I can see that glow on your face. With that, for all of you making to this meeting on a Saturday morning, give it up for yourself. Whoa. Whoa. I was supposed to have a co-host. I'm not sure where he is. Probably he got a call or something. Or a nature's call. I'm not sure. It's taking long.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Bond, James Bond. Who are you?
I am Berry, Strawberry.
What are you doing here?
Well, don't you know?
The berries are bonding with the bond.
Exactly. Don't you know?
Hello?
I heard at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, they're beautiful ladies and they love strawberries. Strawberries dipped in chocolate sauce.
Dipped?
Yeah. So, haven't you heard this? Haven't you heard? They take the strawberry, dip it in the chocolate sauce, and the way they put into the mouth, what an amazing feeling.
I don't know what you're talking about. Carry on.
I'm here to spread that happiness to everybody, and I want to help them.
Happiness or chocolateness?
I want to help them let it out. I mean, talk it out. You know, strawberry is such a wonderful fruit that the ingredient itself makes everyone to express their emotions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To express their thoughts, express feelings unconditionally. Each and every one of you are a strawberry in your own sense. Okay? Today is an opportunity to let go of your emotions. Talk it out. What do you want to talk it? All the road takers and table topic people and the prepared speakers, please come out here, express your feelings.
Makes sense now why you're a strawberry. There was one such strawberry in 1924 in Santa Ana, California, who had an idea of how public speaking should be done, and he wanted people to stand up and speak out. With that idea, that strawberry sowed seeds throughout the world, and we have about 3,000 members, 3 lakh members all around the world. You know how it is done, how public speaking is taught? We have typically a 3 section. One, a prepared speech section where a speaker comes in prepared. Second is a table topic section where it is an impromptu speaking session where a topic will be given on the stage here. The third section is where the actual learning happens and everybody turns into strawberry. Right? It is evaluation where we'll be given feedback constructively to improve upon. This meeting is no special except that we are in Kaban Park. We'll have the same learning, we'll have the same a time-proven method to improve on public speaking. With that, what do we do?
Every meeting, what happens? Every meeting we have
another strawberry from our club?
yes. And,
Right.
and this time we have a strawberry that's imported from China. A strawberry that's imported from China and directed to Kaban Park. Okay, he is a chartered accountant, and he is also he works as a CFA at Avis Solar. He's none other than our president at Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Put your hands together for Nitin Bangalore.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good morning.
welcome to meeting number 1103 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Give it a big hippie hooray, hippie hooray, hippie hooray. Thank you for referring to China because China's...
You will do it anyway.
More than okay. Thank you for giving me the time. Now today's theme is take it out, talk it out. Let's talk it out. It's important for us to talk it out whenever we have gap in a communication. Of course, in Toastmasters we don't have, but normally in life you come across a situation where a gap develops. Even today's world, if you look at WhatsApp, even the other day, one of my friends, after almost 30 years friendship we had, and we had formed a group, and yesterday when I was in a pub with my friends, in the group this guy exited because there was a gap. One guy forwarded a joke and this guy got offended and he just left the group. Now I had to call him out. As a Toastmaster, among the group of about 10 people, I thought it's my duty to call him up and talk to him and talk him out of this problem. And he realized his mistake. Of course, I told him life is short and we need to ensure that each relation has to be, enjoyed. Toastmasters is nothing different. We all come here, meet, and we have our own relations. And if there are differences of opinion amongst Toastmasters, I think we need to talk it out. And it's very nice that today's theme we take it as a talk it out and communicate. That reminds me of one of this incident when a lady, in the morning, she was telling her husband, "I'm overdue. Let me break the good news." Both were elated. They had a breakfast. Husband went for the office as usual, and there was a call from the electricity board saying, "Madam, you're overdue." She was taken aback. How does he know that I'm overdue? She was shocked, taken aback. So he wanted to take it out, and then I'm sure you would have read about this. He says it's all in our files. Your story is in our files. She says, what nonsense is happening? Electricity board telling me you're overdue and it's in the files? No way. The husband comes back in the afternoon and she complains to the husband. Husband says, he goes to the electricity board and says, what's happening? Why? I mean, how can you say that my wife is overdue? He says, you're not paid. Why should I pay? Why should I pay? Come on. So there is some communication gap. Communication. The story goes on, but I thought let me not continue. But there could be communication in any sphere. That's what I'm trying to say. So the best thing for us to ensure that gap is reduced. And in that direction, we are continuing with our meeting today in a very nice atmosphere. I'm sure Satvik has arranged for some nice idlis too today. Okay, strawberries. Yeah, strawberries. Yeah. Thank you, Satvik. Hopefully it's not from China, right? Yeah. So I'm happy, and anybody who's going to speak, if you have any objections on the videos getting uploaded onto the website, please contact Soumya, and if you have objections, you will not upload. Otherwise, by default, whatever happens here gets uploaded on YouTube, right? So any speakers can inform Soumya. We have a couple of guests here, so all of us would like to know who are the guests who have come here and sitting among. Dear Toastmasters, how do we greet this?
Today? Super! Fantastic!
Yes.
I don't hear any. I want a loud yes if you're enjoying this morning. Yes! Exactly. Fantastic. Alright.
Strawberry.
Alright. Now, strawberry? Alright.
Strawberry.
We have many berries in the crowd, like gooseberry is one of you. So, alright. Next. See, we have got prepared speeches, okay? Today is called CC6. For all the guests out here, CC is a competent communication manual where you have 10 projects. And our speakers are going to attempt the 6th project in the manual, which is about voice modulation, which is about pitch and ball pitch tampering, not that, right? No. So it's pitch, voice modulation, and etc. So,
Pitch, power, bass,
who's the speaker? Who's the evaluator for speaker number 1?
I'll read it.
Yeah.
So the objectives of this speech: use voice volume, pitch, rate and quality to reflect and add meaning and interest to your message as well. So use pauses to enhance your message. Use vocal variety smoothly and naturally. Time 5 to 7 minutes.
Alright, then talks it out. All of us, let it out. I mean our emotions.
Okay.
Alright? He's such a charismatic speaker. We have to get glued onto his speech. He has been the VP Public Relations in the past committee. And since then, he has not left the committee. He's been working behind the committee as associate. Alright? Such a great speaker. Now his topic is guard it. Guard your identity. Right? His topic is guard your identity. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our next speaker, Vivek Vijayan.
Last April 2017, on a very sultry Sunday morning, I was getting ready to go to the division level contest where Cherian and Chinna were speaking from our club. I just wanted to go there and encourage. At around 8:30, I get a call on my phone. It's from an unknown number. I pick the call and the person on the other side speaks very firmly but very respectfully. He tells me that they have noticed that I throw garbage in public places. I initially thought that it must be some of my friends or somebody radio stations who must be making fun of me, saying that I throw garbage. So, but after a few minutes, I realized that this is not a hoax call. This seems to be something real. This person says, I am from the BBMP, the municipality, and we have seen that you throw garbage at public places. See, the first reaction that I had was to pounce on him, saying that, oh, I am a good citizen, I don't throw garbage at public places, so much so that even the wet waste in the house, we convert it into manure and things. But you know, unlike those vehicles which have non-polluting vehicle certificate, these citizens do not have something saying that, oh, he is a non-polluting, he doesn't litter around and things. So I didn't take that route at all. So what I took was I told him, can you give me the proof? What's the proof that I have littered? He says, check your WhatsApp. I immediately checked my WhatsApp. He had sent me 5 or 6 images of garbage strewn around. And I immediately got the point. You know why? There were cardboard boxes lying there. My name was there, full name, my full address, my phone number. They had every right to call me. Now, what had happened is that we had a lot of this Amazon and Flipkart boxes coming. We had accumulated a lot of them. I had given it to the paper guy nearby. I just disposed it off. And maybe he has sold it to somebody else, or he has used it to dispose the garbage. But I was blamed for it. Now, how I wriggled out of the situation was for another project altogether. But what has really happened here is that your identity, which distincts you, your identity, which defines you, your identity, which develops you, has been misused. That day, I was late, but I was driving towards the division level contest. And while driving, it occurred to me, I remembered an incident which my friend had told me just 2 months before that incident. He told his old parents live in the pristine valley of the Malabar. They are old school teachers, whereas he lives in the United States. Now, they usually get no guests at home except for a few squirrels and crows. One day you had a huge Innova coming to their car porch, and a gentleman, well-dressed gentleman, getting out of the Innova and telling them that he is from the income tax department, and he has noticed that there are some remittances, foreign remittances, for which they have not paid the tax. 70 plus, and they were actually shivering as to what was happening. This was the time of the demonetization and things like that, and so they called their son. Now the son said that, don't worry, All that I've done is to transfer 3 lakh rupees as a foreign remittance. For some travel related, they had to apply for a visa or something of that sort. Now, this bank statement had to be taken and given to a travel agent. So you guys know what has happened. It didn't stay at the travel agent. It has traveled much before much after that. So what has happened is, again, for just 3 lakh rupees, no income tax officer comes to your house. All that they do is to send a mail, and that's it. Unless it is a few crores, no income tax officer has the time to come to your house. So they realized it. Now, again, if you look at it, your identity, which distincts you, which develops you, and which defines you, has been misused. In both these incidents, what we see is that when you throw your receipts carelessly, or when you give your PAN card somewhere, or when you give the exact location of your photograph on your Facebook, what you are doing is to give out breadcrumbs of information about your identity to the whole world, which is a fodder for someone else. Your dear and near cannot be stolen from you. Your personality cannot be stolen from you. Your soul cannot be stolen from you. But somebody can impersonate you for a short period of time and inflict maximum damage on you. For example, what happens when you try to give out these information? You might think that you are a nobody. Nobody really cares about you. But for somebody, you are not a nobody. There is enough juice to squeeze out of you and make you into a pulp so that you are a nobody. In Bangalore, in 2017, there were at least 5 cases on an average of identity theft. This is reported cases, 5 cases every day on an average in 2017. So what you should be doing is, you should be a bit careful about what you dispose of, what you reveal. Make sure that you are not a nobody, you are somebody. Define an identity for yourself, but deny your identity to anyone else.
Facebook or Instagram taking our information and on a higher level, but we ourselves give out carelessly. This is something that we have to take care of. Coincidentally today we are here to talk it out, and all 3 speakers are attached to CC6, which is voice modulation. What a way to do it, out in open, but do it loud. So the next speaker is another strawberry from our club, bearded. He's doing his MBA now. He's a voracious reader and is now into blogging. Trust me, I've gone through his blog. It's really insightful. You get a peace of mind, his mind, so that you get to know him better. I'm sure now the pathways are in. Probably that will add value to you as well. So join me in welcoming the next speaker, Puneet.
I thought of ending with this, but I want to start with this. I think discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. A 1 hour's discipline in the morning of exercise liberates you for 23 hours of intensive energetic work. I think 10 minutes of meditation frees your entire day for a very focused and stress-free day. And this is what I see which is missing in a lot of us. I thought I'll give you something about discipline, what types of disciplines are there or what kinds of disciplines are there. But then I realized most of you know every kind of discipline there is, everything there is about health, about fitness, about money, about investing, about everything. The challenge is, especially with people of my generation, we have common sense, but we don't have common practice. We haven't taken from common sense and brought it to common practice. That is why I've been observing a lot of times what is the gap really between common sense and common practice, and this is discipline. And there are three things that I always observe when I push or nudge somebody to go ahead and give discipline a chance. One, which I observe a lot of times, is that a lot of us start something, fitness regime, an investment program, but then we don't realize that 98% is much more harder than 100%. For example, you decide to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. From Monday through Friday, you push yourself, you wake up, but then comes the weekend. And then you're like, let's slack off. Let's not get up during the weekends. Let me relax. What happens when you slack off and the next Monday morning? It's so much more hard to wake up. 98% is much more harder than 100% when it comes to discipline. The second one, which I find really interesting, is especially when it comes to building discipline, you leave it to tomorrow. I have seen too many people leaving fitness to tomorrow, so much so that a doctor has to literally come into their life in the form of a heart attack or an issue and tell you have to do exercise. And every time I've walked around Lal Bagh, I see a group of old people walking around because they don't have a choice. They have to walk. They have to do something so they are energetic or they can move their limbs around. And I see so many people struggling just before the retirement to get the money so that they can retire peacefully. And I think a lot of us are young here, and this is where we need to build that discipline at a very young age, because Aristotle said it so beautifully. Habits built in the youth make all the difference. If we can build a foundation of discipline now, then we have a whole different world. And the best part about discipline, I know all of you know this, but what amazes me is the compounding effect of discipline. You take one small discipline, my mentor explained it so beautifully. If you can have one point fixed in your entire day, for example, let's say you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, your whole day is aligned to make that thing happen, and because of which your whole day gets organized. If you can get one thing set, a small thing. I've done a lot of experiment with myself, writing a blog a day, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, not eating after 6:30. I did that for 4.5 months. Being out of social media for an entire 2 months, completely away from my phone. I did a lot of experiments and I realized something. There is a ripple effect. When you get one discipline in place, a small discipline in place, that momentum starts building. And the best part is, there is compounding effect. A lot of you who are into finance, you know how compounding works in money. It works similarly with your body, with your mind also. 10 minutes of exercise a day, every day, over a period of 30 years, 40 years. Insane. The results are amazing. Time works in your favor. And the best part, why I feel discipline does not work with all of us, is because we associate it with a lot of different meanings. We think it's about being military, it's about being strict, it's not freedom. But I think discipline is equal to freedom. It liberates you, it makes your life easier. One of the other reasons why we are not disciplined, or we don't really focus on being consistent, is because we don't celebrate being disciplined. It's not a part of our culture. I do this with myself all the time. I treat myself after every disciplined activity. For example, 2 months of being disciplined, I give myself a treat. I go to the best of the restaurants and treat myself. But 2 months I have done the workout. But then I treat myself. I think one of the best things you can do is decide for a short amount of time, take a small activity, discipline yourself through it, and then treat yourself big time. Celebrate it big time. Make a big announcement of it. It does not matter how big it is. What really matters is you start celebrating, and that momentum kicks in. And then you get inspired to build another discipline. And the best part of it is, you get to create your own identity out of it. Like Vivek mentioned, a big part of your identity is the discipline that you have in your day-to-day life. And once it starts building one on top of each other, it stacks up. The whole is more than the sum. And that is why I wanted to bring about the possibility of being disciplined to each and every one of you. All of you are different stages of life, I understand, but I highly recommend pick a small activity and commit to it. And discipline has a definition for me. Discipline means no choice. I've made that decision, no choice. If I decide to sleep at 9:30, it is 9:30. No choice at all. Whether it's a hectic day, a tiring day, a long day, or I just want to relax, I want to watch a movie, no. 9:30 sleeping time, 9:30 sleeping time. If you have decided to invest, let's say 10,000 rupees a month, that's it. Borrow the money if you have to. But make that disciplined investment. If you have decided to read a book a month, read it. And the best thing about discipline, which I don't want to miss out, is your brain does not know if you have walked for 10 minutes or for 100 minutes or for an hour. It knows that you have walked. So even if you have to get up at 6 o'clock, I did this. I had to get up at 5:30 in every morning. So for a few days, I just wanted to relax. I woke up, 10 minutes I was awake and I slept back. You can do that, but make sure you're waking up, make sure you do that little bit every single day. So one day when you turn back after 10 years and see your disciplined life, you're like, wow, you've come a long, long, long way. So hope you implement one little activity at one defined time and see the difference in 10 years. Thank you.
Speaker, same CC6, and after that we have a break, which is a good time, right? But what comes before that? A king of good times, right? A person who has worked, a person who has worked with Kingfisher Airlines for a long time and who is into travel industry, and a person who has acute wit, trust me. And then he is a VP Ed of our club now. So his speech title is "Don't drink if you have to drive." So to you, Melvin.
Please, let's talk it out. 2013 in the summer. The number 13 is unlucky for many, but very lucky for me. 5 of my classmates, schoolmates, decided to catch up and drive down to Ooty. How many of you have met up with classmates? Good, you know what it is. We had George, we call him Georgie. Then we had Victor, Paddy. And we had Alvin, the guy from Dubai Wala. Georgie calls us Melly, Georgie, Vicky, and Ollie. So you can imagine what Georgie is like. When 11:45, Georgie calls me. Hi, Melly. I said, what's up? He said, I hope you're going to be on time. I said, mate, I'm always on time, like my Swiss watch. 12 o'clock, first in, Georgie. Next we go pick up Alvin from the club because he's from Dubai. Then we go and pick up Vicky. Vicky is the 5th guy. I mean 4th and 5th guy. You know what I mean? Because of his size, he had to sit in the navigator seat. We took off. We are now on Mysore Road. 60 kilometers an hour. All the jokes and laughing for nothing started. We were moving on. I was saying, this beautiful Mysore Road is like Route 99 of Australia. Just then, a car came honking behind us. A white SUV. And if people know me and honking, I hate it. I would not allow that SUV to go past, at least for some time. But suddenly, in a flash of a light, that SUV was ahead of me. And what was still, at the wheel was a woman. And Vicky's telling me, hey, she's a young babe. For us, anybody below 40 is young. The male ego in me took over. I went 60, 65, 70, pothole. Oh my God. Then a hump. But just do not get in front of that SUV. At the next intersection, yours sincerely was well ahead of that SUV. I allowed some jeeps, buses, but not that SUV. Going forward, I was cruising and making good speed when suddenly, I don't know from where, a bull appears from nowhere. Next we know, we are in the ditch. It's actually just the service road. Oh God. Now what do? Dump the idea of the chase. Forget it. Let them go ahead. Anyway, we are hungry. Vicky was already looking thin with hunger. So we decided, let's head to Kamath for lunch. And what? Georgie. Oh my God. Oh my God. I said, what, Georgie? The box. What box? The beers. They left behind. Now it's too late. Lunch without beers. Minus beers. Just when we are going to head inside, you see the SUV taking off. Dump lunch. Let's get ahead of the SUV. On the pedal again. Start it. Going forward. 70. Come on, mates. 80.
90. 100.
But that SUV was nowhere in sight. They are young babes. So we decided to just enjoy ourselves. We had blaring music. Those were the days, my friend, we thought would never end. It was going on. Suddenly, Vicky asked, Macha, do we have enough air in the tires? You know, knowing Vicky, we need little air, extra air in the tires. Alvin, being from Dubai, says we should have done it on the Harley. Come to Dubai, mate, and see our roads. Well, I was the butt of all their jokes because we couldn't catch up with those young days. Anyway, we were enjoying ourselves, and then again, a huge ambulance behind us, zipping around with the sirens full blast. Obviously, my spiritual prophet told me, listen, there's trouble ahead. So I just gave way, slowed down, let him pass. We were enjoying ourselves, chatting about old days, good old times, the king of good times. And then we got ahead towards closer to our destination, and we could see a huge commotion. Huge commotion. Georgie, oh my God, oh no, oh no. I said, what happened? See that SUV? It's upside down. We were so scared. But like every inquisitive passerby, we stopped and added to the confusion, asking questions. I recognized that girl with the yellow jacket and the bandana. There was a pool of blood. A lot of commotion. Cops interrogating people. Apparently, they had hit a horde of buffaloes. Thankfully and happily, not many had any major bruises. They learnt a lesson. We all will learn a lesson from this. Should we drive? Should we speed and drive recklessly? Should we let our emotions, our ego overtake us, especially when we are on the wheel? Should we not, isn't life more important than reaching our destination on time? Apparently, those girls had a big degree and they got off cheaply. And ironically, the hoarding just there Red. If you have to drive, don't drink. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Melvin. So now the prepared speech session is done. We'll break for idlis now.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strawberry filled idlis.